Yeah, we did like one session last month, right?
Yeah,
And
I think maybe the first or second day of the patch. Yeah.
yeah, exactly. And then like so it's been like basically 2 weeks or like more than 2 weeks.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
That's crazy. How's the climb been?
It's been okay. Last patch was quite good. Fixed my MMR, I think. So I was hoping I'd be masters by
Nice.
now, but close.
Or
Getting there.
okay, so you're playing fully on the Chalupa account now.
Yeah, pretty
That's good.
much.
Okay, that's good. That's good. And Devin, okay, you're basically there.
Yeah,
I mean, you'll definitely hit it this patch. I'm certain of it.
yeah.
Yeah, without a doubt. Um, I mean, we can just. You said that this session you also wanted to do a little bit of like positioning and that kind of fundamental stuff, right? If I
Yeah,
remember
ideally.
correctly.
Yeah. Ideally, the more fundamental stuff, the better, I think. Although I guess now
Yeah, no
after the
worry.
patch, it's definitely I'm definitely more like down to hear like random thoughts about the patch because so much has changed. Well, not that much, but it's not as if we're reviewing
I,
an old
I don't
patch.
think that much has changed, actually, is the crazy thing. Like, I think somehow the patch is like, in many ways, I feel like this patch is better than last patch. Um, Mostly because I feel like previous patch, there was still like a couple comps that were like solidly like a cut above the rest, like S tier comps.
Yeah.
If you had like the correct position for it. Like for example, 5 amp was definitely like up there. Bastion Morg was like up there.
Yeah,
And I
agreed.
feel like this patch, it's kind of all playable. It's like a much wider, like much more open patch. The good thing about that is that you kind of get to play like many different comps. The bad thing about it is there's no comp that you can default to.
Yeah.
So line selection needs to be a lot sharper, which is something that we were talking about, like struggling with last session as well, right?
Yep.
Like I believe that like we'd played a game and we talked about. Let me actually pull up my notes and then one sec. Right. I remember that we had like a really good like spot for AD flex with like repulsor flex
Exactly.
capacitor.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, and then yeah, you ended up hard forcing prep, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thinking that
Yeah.
was I was too tied to TF, but I had played a lot of AD Flex last patch. I'd say like I think I was by far my most played comp, and I was averaging in the threes.
Right.
So
Uh,
it definitely
so that
helped.
definitely worked.
Yeah.
Yeah, hell yeah.
Yeah, like 15s I
Okay, well,
gave
it comes
average
to
of three.
like,
Well, pretty good.
oh, okay, solid. Hell yeah. Let's fucking go. I mean, the main thing that I think I want to talk about is like the new items and artifacts, right?
Yep.
Which like I don't know, like you probably know by now, but Starax is the most broken item in the game, right?
Yeah.
Like, like by far the best item in the game. Um, and then when it comes to like the other items, they're kind of just underwhelming. Like Kraken's is like kind of, I don't know. Like I would play it on like Urgot or Kog'Maw, and that's kind of it. Like you can sometimes play it in Zeri, and that's okay as well. But honestly, even there, it's like you know.
Yeah. 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 Like I've played it a couple
Uh,
times on Aphelios, and I'm not even convinced it's better than just like some of the other stuff you could be doing.
I mean, on Aphelios, it would like it makes sense that it would be shit, right? Because on
Yeah.
Aphelios, you already have so much AD from 4 marksmen, so you don't
That's
really
true.
want more
That's true.
AD.
That's true.
You'd rather just go for like more attack speed slash healing slash like or like maybe more crit or something like that.
Yeah.
Um, Anyway, so the new redemption, what's it called? Spirit Visage is fine. I'm not like super impressed by it, but it's like I mean it's a frontline item. You slam it when you have to slam it, right? It's exactly what it is. Like all frontline items are kind of just like shut up and slam it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like a tempo slam.
Yep.
So like that doesn't really matter too much. What's the other one that I'm forgetting that was like actually good? Am I
Void
stupid?
Staff's okay on some units.
Yeah, White Staff's good. White Staff is solid. White Staff. Oh yeah, and Striker's Veil is also solid. Yeah,
Yeah.
I like
Yeah.
both of these.
That was fine. Yeah.
Uh, both of the I mean strikers is like even more like Guardbreaker you could like sometimes at least slam without having like IE or something, but now it's literally just if you don't have like IE or JG, it's like
You have to.
unslammable IMO.
Yeah. Agreed.
Like it's needed. And yeah, void stuff like you said, yeah, void stuff is solid. Unit dependent, but definitely solid, right?
Flicker Blade
Um
stuff. I actually haven't gotten a chance to play it yet at all, but lots of Flicker
oh
Blade
Flicker
lines.
Blade is broken, dude.
Yeah. It seems really good.
Flicker Blade is like genuinely just straight up broken. And I'm pretty sure all the others are like trash.
Yeah.
Uh
Isn't bad. I did see that
like I'm pretty sure
Titanic has decent stats on Graves. So like some
On
people were,
grapes, really? I
yeah,
haven't seen this.
yeah. I don't know if you've seen any of the like Divinicore Graves, like four Golden Ox Graves reroll stuff. I
No, I
played that.
haven't. I haven't actually.
Yeah, yeah. The Academy just
I've
put it out,
oh
and
yeah, you
Wigwug
showed it.
in NA was like has been spamming it on ladder. So I was like
Well,
looking at his
the thing
matches.
is that I've been like a bit on the last patch because of I've been covering 4v4, right?
Oh shit! Yeah, yeah, yeah. That makes sense. That makes
So
sense.
I still have been like spending a lot more time on the last patch. So this is actually this is really cool.
Yeah, it is. It is a.
I
It's a
mean,
very cool
damn.
line, and he's like such a good user of Sterax. So like that's kind of what I'm looking to do if
Yeah,
I
yeah,
get
yeah. This
Sterax
makes
opener.
like a lot of sense.
Yeah,
Yeah, hell yeah.
cool little line.
Okay, Grace reroll. That's crazy. Where'd you see this?
So TFT Academy has it, but Wigwug is an NA Challenger guy,
Yeah,
and he was
I see it on
he's been
TFT Academy.
yeah
But
Wigwug like was like one tricking it essentially for
Wigwag.
most of the patch. I think two Gs.
Wigwag was playing in the tournament yesterday, right?
Yes, he's in the sub regional. He
The
was doing
NA
the sub.
qualifier thing, sub
Yeah,
regional. That's right.
yeah,
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 yeah. I
he was
was
in the sub
watching
regional as well.
Vision play, so he was in one of his lobbies. I remember that.
So
Okay.
yeah, like if you want to look at like kind of what he's been doing, I actually he doesn't have a ton of games with Titans, but I just saw that it had pretty good stats on him, so I was thinking, oh, maybe that's a or Titanic. I mean, maybe that's a something
Yeah,
I'll
yeah, yeah.
try when I get this spot.
Oh, he's just been one tricking this year.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. No, he's like legit one tricking it. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy. Okay, wait. Did Kai make a video on it yet? If not, then I'll ask him to. Kai Watanabe. Let's see. He didn't. Okay, he should make a video on this like ASAP.
Yeah, yeah. It's definitely a
I'll
fun
DM
line.
him. Actually, just give me a sec. I'll just DM
Yeah,
him right
go for
now.
it, go for it, go for it. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, perfect. Thank you. All right. So you want to cover like some fundies. What did you have in mind when you said that you wanted to cover fundies?
Um, Honestly, I don't know if I really remember. I'm trying to think if there was stuff that like, because I remember it
Well, you
was
were
because
talking
of
about
the
like
tournament.
positioning, like not coming intuitively to you sometimes, and like us having to break some stuff down.
Yeah,
Um, if you want, we can go like unit by unit and talk about like what I'm thinking of when I'm thinking of positioning. Does that make more sense?
yeah, I'm down.
All right. Let me share screen then. Do you see that?
Yeah, just loading up. Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, perfect. Alistar. The main thing is that with Alistar, a lot of the times what you want like early game is having your like tanks like kind of split up damage, right? But Alistar is like kind of unique in that sense that I don't actually mind like him not like solo tanking, but like kind of primary tanking. So some positioning like this is actually not bad because his early game passive like is actually so good, especially if it's Alistar 2.
Yeah.
The fact that he can reduce early game damage by 20 and every unit is autoing for like 50 or something, he can actually like soak up a lot more damage and like basically make their damage worth less. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
This like of course is like really shit for Alistar late game, but early game I don't mind like solo frontline positioning him. Window positioning is very basic, right? Super simple.
Yeah.
There's a few units in the set that like I'll just like kind of rapid fire, but like so there's stuff like Jax. There's stuff like Shyvana, sorry, uh, Jarvan. All of these are units that you if you're frontlining them, you kind of want to outline frontline them, right? Because they benefit from striking maximum amounts of enemies. So, for
I see.
example,
I see.
Jarvan like semicircle, so he'll get a shield based off of that, like bonus shield, plus he'll hit more units for damage, right? And like shred all of them. So that's great for Jarvan. Always want him on the outside, so they kind of like circle around him, clump around him. Can you see my mouse, by the way?
Yep.
Or no?
Yeah, I can.
You can. Oh, okay, great. Yeah, so they can like kind of semicircle around him like that. Jax, kind of similar, not the exact same, but like he kind of hits damage like enemies all around him,
Yeah.
right? So
Yeah.
again, you kind of want people clumping around him. Shyvana just has that fire aura around her, right? So again, you just want people to like kind of clump around her. So solo frontlining these, if you have gargoyles, early game is like super good as well. Um, which yeah, these are the frontline heroes that you want like to clump around. So building gargoyles on them early game is not bad. Darius is kind of like that, but not quite. Like he does the damage, but he doesn't actually heal more based on like units around him. It definitely helps a lot when he has the Kingpin bonus. Then it actually like then he heals more for per enemy hit. But on that, like he's like not as good about this. When it comes to other tanks, you kind of just want to primarily like split aggro amongst them, right? So it's like wire, Silas, and stuff. It's completely fine, right? Um, Yeah, Kindred Kog'Maw again, very simple. These kind of like backline units are just you always want them focusing one unit early game, right? Targeting the same shit. Um, Morgana, the one thing that I do want to call out about Morgana positioning is sometimes you'll be playing something like, let's say your front, let's just say that my board looks something like this, right? It's a pretty standard early game board that you would have, right?
Right.
What you often want to do is make sure Morgana is actually opposite side of your the two AD carries, right? The reasoning for this is that Morgana's damage is like over 16 seconds, right? So suppose that Morgana like ults this unit and then Kindred and Jin burst
I
this
see.
unit down.
Yeah, yeah,
That basically means that she got like 3 seconds worth of procs off and then missed out on 13 seconds worth of damage, right? So you just want her opposite sides. So she'll slowly be chunking these two units down, and then Kindred and Jin will be working on this. So this
that
is
makes
actually the way to
sense.
maximize damage,
That makes sense.
right? Poppy positioning is the same as Z positioning,
Yep.
right? Because you want her to kind of like bonk the unit in the corner, right? Very similar targeting to Z. Shaco positioning. With Shaco, his positioning is going to differ based on whether or not you have Edge of Night. If you have Edge of Night, you kind of always want to corner him, and it's completely fine. Because then what's going to happen is he's going to kill the unit in front, and oftentimes people will be doing, let's say, they'll be doing anti Sejuani positioning late game, right? So they'll have something like this or this, right? So Silas will come here. Shaco, if they have something over here, can kill here. But if they've done like anti Sejuani all the way over here, so to protect even this X, Shaco will just walk to the back like
Right.
this,
Right.
right? And people say this is anti Sejuani positioning, but this is why like this positioning is actually better because if you then position your Sejuani over here, then the Sejuani can actually walk all the way to the back, right?
Mm.
Otherwise, if they haven't done that kind of positioning, it's still fine because Shaco teleports. Like if you're playing like Shaco with Syndicate, he'll teleport right over here and then ends up on their carry, right? And that's a little bit better than middle because people oftentimes generally try to center their main tank, right? Because oftentimes, otherwise, what happens is if you put your main tank over here and say they position Shaco over here, then he'll kill over there and then go to your back line with your front line being like the last person alive, which kind of sucks, right? Which is why you want to just the main thing about Shaco, I guess, is to make sure that A, he's on one of the corners and B, not getting stuck on the main tank. That's where he kind of struggles, right?
Yep.
Okay, what other one costs are there? Mundo positioning is just Mundo positioning. He's just tank, right? Fat boy, put him in the front.
Yep.
Seraphine positioning. I mean, you can corner Seraphine and it's fine, but also center Seraphine is actually not that bad late game if you're kind of worried about like what's gonna happen, especially if it's the kind of like you're playing Zyra Seraphine and the hexes are like in the corners over here, and Seraphine's holding your void stick, so you're kind of worried that Seraphine might not hit the unit that Zyra is, and you want to same side them. This is actually not that bad of a Seraphine positioning. It's completely fine because she can still like go down this hex, and it's a completely straight line, so she'll still end up hitting backline, right? Zyra again, very basic, just same side as enemy carry, super simple. For Vi, I'm going to talk about Vi Hero Augment, right? Which is just, I mean, to fill in the blank, I don't know if you know what to play, but like this is generally the board that you play with Vi Hero, right? And then you just play 6 Vanguards. Jarvan gives you Slayer.
Yeah.
That's kind of
Yeah.
it, right? And the positioning that you want is very similar to the Cypher cash out positioning, but a bit more like this, right? Because then what you want is Y like making her way to the back, Z kind of going on the same unit, and Draven like kind of ulting to the same unit. So you want to opposite side your Draven and then same side Z and Y, right? Uh, Nidalee. Nidalee is kind of interesting because early game she can actually tank some and heal like Drain Tank, especially if you have Amp. Like especially if you have like Nafiri already, she can actually tank a decent amount. So you don't want frontlining her. But late game, I mean, you don't really want items on her anyway. Good shout is that like Nid is actually a really good spreader of Morello because her amp like just increases the units
Mm.
number of
Yeah.
units hit, right?
That's interesting. Yeah.
Like its nearest enemies. So it's like how much is it's 2 by default, right? So if you have like 5
Yeah.
amp,
If
it
you're
goes up
five
to
amp, it
7
can go to
enemies,
7. Yeah.
which is like board wide basically. So again, really good with void staff as well, right? Which is not shit that you want when it comes to like oh you wouldn't really want void stuff on your Yumi. It's actually kind of fine on Annie, I would say. Like Annie's actually pretty good at it as well.
Yeah, yeah.
Uh, Nafiri positioning. Nafiri is just the very same as Shaco in many ways, right? As long as you can make sure she doesn't get stuck on the main tank, you'll be fine, right? You kind of want her to wrap as well. She does struggle like in tank bursting, especially because all her alphas are single target. Like with Nidalee, getting stuck on the main tank isn't as big enough a issue because you'll be hitting like 7 other units anyway, so it's okay. Especially if you have like what's the augment that like instantly 3 stars or 4 stars? Moonlight, right? If you have
Moonlight,
like
yeah,
Moonlight and you're playing like Moonlight Amp, which is a very solid line, right? Um, I don't know if you're aware, but like Moonlight is
yeah,
one of the
yeah.
best augments to take in Amp,
Yep.
right? So in which case, carrying Ridley is pretty good. And over there also, it's kind of fine to just center your Ridley based on like Street Demon Hexes. It's kind of okay, especially because she drain tanks well. The Fury can get stuck on like single target and not actually be able to drain tank because if she's stuck on the main tank, she's not dealing as much damage. Ergo, she's not healing as much, right? Okay. Echo. There is nothing about this guy's positioning. He heals
Yeah.
and deals damage. It's
Yeah.
fuck all. He'll like just try to put him in the middle somewhere. Graves. I actually like putting Graves somewhere in the third row as opposed to second row. What I found in second row is sometimes he like, I don't know, he just tends to, I don't know why, but he just tends to run towards the middle. Whereas if you put him like somewhere over here, I
I see.
find that he goes to the corner more. I don't know why it happens, but that's my personal experience. Okay. Um, Jin positioning, the only thing that matters is if you don't have Shred, then you want him same side as your main carry, right? If you Because he has 20% Thunder built in,
Yep.
so that's like the only consideration. LeBlanc just corner him, her, sorry, just LeBlanc Treadles. I haven't actually checked, but they tried to make LeBlanc less dependent, right?
Yeah, I haven't seen
Has
it
it
at all,
actually
but
worked?
I haven't seen it at all, but
He,
who knows? Maybe it's
yeah, I
still
don't know. I haven't.
underexplored.
Yeah, who fucking knows, right? Uh, Rust. Okay. With Rust, the thing is you actually want to put him on the corner, and this actually stands true for units like Mundo as well. You don't want to center these because if you look, these units, their ult heals them, right? So suppose you put them in
Ah,
the
I see.
middle and they haven't even gotten targeted, then they'll just waste the healing on their ult, right? So you kind of want them to take damage so that they can heal back up, as opposed to something like a shielding unit, right?
Makes sense.
Uh, Skarner, very simple. He shields, he tanks. Put him wherever. Doesn't
Yep.
fucking matter, right? TF again, nothing special here. Corner carry. Vayne, same. Vigar, you already know this, but centering Vigar is pretty good, right?
Yep.
Very similar to Vex. So for these two units, oftentimes you're looking at positioning like these two hexes, right? Very similar. Um, Again, it's just the idea that if they're targeting, let's say, this poppy over here, then Vex will out here and then hit this, and this hex. And similarly, Vigar will hit like the exact same hexes, right? So if they're cornered, then if they're targeting this unit, then you'll be missing out on like damage on. You'll basically just be hitting one adjacent enemy as opposed to two,
Yep.
right? Um, Okay, 3 costs. Braum. I mean, often enough, Braum is your like solo tank, so often enough you do end up like solo frontlining him, especially considering like he scales off of armor MR, so people do like building him with gargoyles, so he'll just end up solo frontlining a lot of the time. I think that's completely fine. Draven, super simple. You just want him opposite side of enemy carry, right? Try to snipe the backline, especially with the fact that we just talked about. Often enough, he's paired with like other backline access units like Zed, that I think it like makes perfect sense.
Yep.
If not, then what you kind of want to do is like, I mean, then you're probably playing 6 rapid fire or something, and then Draven Zeri want to be targeting the same unit to like kind of not split aggro, right? Same concept as early game. Um, Elise is again very same. Put her at the same side as your other carry. She'll shred DMR of units. So you actually want to same side her as Morgana because she can shred DMR of the tanks, but like a flat damage on top of the other MR shred that you already have in your Ionic Spark or Void Staff.
What do
Again,
you
Void Staff is going to be really good at least.
What do
Sorry?
you do with
Go ahead.
the nitro bug? That's one I'm always confused about with like the T hacks.
Oh, the T-Hex? I usually just put him right in the middle.
Okay, sounds good.
Because
He has
he
the
kind of
weird
like, he
sweep.
has an arc. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah.
exactly. So corner kind of like gets a little fucky sometimes. So just
Okay,
put him
that
in the
makes
middle and
sense.
forget about it.
Sounds good.
Yeah. Fiddle. The only thing about Fiddle is you want to make sure he's same side as enemy carry, so that once you kill these units, he actually like tethers to the backline if they're the nearest, right, instead of the tanks. Because what happens is, suppose, and also you want to make sure he's third row, not second row, There's something people forget, like don't understand. But with units like Fiddlesticks and Graves, you'll notice that even though it says 2 hex, they'll get their first auto off and then walk up, which is actually kind of cool. So you just dodge
Oh, I
aggro
see.
for like
I
one
see. I see. Yeah.
like moment. So you just want to third row these units. He'll auto once, then walk up. And while he's in alt, what's going to happen is he'll kill this unit, this unit, this unit, right? And then instead of aggroing onto this unit, he can actually aggro onto the backline because it's same damage, right?
Yep.
And because he doesn't move while he's ulting, it's actually quite reliable. So you always want to just same side him as enemy carry. Galio. Um, the issue is in Cypher Cash Out, if you don't hit Sejuani too, this guy often ends up being your main tank. In which case you can't really like full corner him, but he does like getting like full cornered and then putting another unit right next to him. Because then what will happen is that they've not put a unit right here and they put a unit over here, he'll actually get like blocked off and have to walk to this hex. In which case he'll be 3 hexes away from this corner and be able to ult this backline and stun them.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. This guy's a sniper.
Yeah, exactly. So just like cornering this guy is generally good. But if you've got him like main tank is your Galio, then you will have to just like centralize him a little bit. Otherwise, what will happen is you'll try to do this, and your carry will be over here,
Yeah.
and then they'll kill these fucking idiots. Like they'll kill a fucking Silas over here, and then walk right to your backline, which you can't have. Gragas, again, healing tank, same concept, right? Let him take a little bit of damage so that his ult actually heals him. Jarvan, we already talked about. Jinx, not much to say.
Yep.
I mean, you're not really playing Jinx Reader, but like it's cornered, sure. Normal carry positioning. Mordekaiser. I generally like to put Mordekaiser same side as my carries, just because he's such a reliable tank, and not just that, he's a single target stun unit, right? So often enough, if they try to get your backline back, like it's just protecting your backline a little bit more, a little bit extra. In case they have like something like a Rengar or a Zed or anything with backline access that's frontline. Even something like Sejuani, if the Mordekaiser ults Sejuani, he can stun him for like just a little bit, few more units. Few more seconds. And then that might be enough time for your backline to like burst the
Right.
Sejuani down.
Right.
So he doesn't get to ult, right? Uh, who's else? Rengar positioning is your Street Demon Hex.
Yep.
Senna, I like to like centralize Senna. I actually like to position her very similarly to Vex.
Okay.
Because again,
Yeah.
attacks deal damage to adjacent enemies, right?
That makes
So it's the same
sense.
positioning as
Yeah.
like Vex and yeah, exactly. Especially with Titanic, I'm assuming this will be even more the case. It's
Yeah, I
already the
forgot
case. I'm
about
sure
that
it'll be
one, but
even
that
more.
makes sense. Yep.
Right. Varus positioning, you usually corner this guy, same side as your Vex.
Yep.
Because Vex doesn't need to be carried, one of the few units. Right? Vex doesn't need to be cornered also, especially because, like, yes, you want, like, centralized ult, but because she also has so much Omnivamp that even if she takes a little bit of chip damage, she's fine with it, right? She
Right.
can just heal back up. So Varus gets to be cornered in this position, which is kind of nice. Sure, why not? Um, Yumi. Yumi, actually, I like cornering her. And then Annie, like, of course, you want them same side, right? But the thing about Yumi is also that often enough, late game, the units that will be left alive the longest will be the units that are the tankiest, right? Or either the tankiest or the backline. In which case, Yumi's single target damage is a lot better than Annie's, right? So she'll actually be able to burst units down. So if you're not like putting them same side, unless you're putting them opposite side, that's fine. But if you're putting them same side, they're actually like cornering Yumi a little bit more. Because like late game, she can actually clutch out fights better than Annie, right? Um, Also because her cast cadence is going to be faster than Annie's, right? And late game, what often happens with like AD versus AP units is that like Aphelios has ramped up and like your brand is trying to throw like a lob a bomb, and even though your brand had like more HP going in the fight, Aphelios will just like kill him because his cast cadence and like his attack,
Yeah.
like DPS is a lot higher, right?
Makes sense.
Speaking of Aphelios, oftentimes what will happen is, especially this patch, you might have like something like QSS Rageblade on him, right? You don't necessarily need double Rageblade. And because you have QSS Rageblade, you can put him in this hex and then put your Zaya in this hex. And then both of these are protected, right? And
Yep.
then let's say like Jarvan's your main tank, you can position like this and both of these turns are completely safe, right? Um, you don't really mind putting these same side, but you also don't like completely hate, especially like if you have something like Even Shroud on your Leona, you actually don't completely hate putting these opposite sides, your Zaya and Aphelios, in case they're like, how do you say, like neither of them have QSS. I think it's actually okay. It's not so bad.
Gotcha.
Brand is Street Demon Hex. Cho'Gath is thing about Cho'Gath is you kind of want him to reach like a tipping point, so you don't want him
Yeah.
to just like main tank. So you kind of do want to protect him a little bit. So I like putting like units around him to like let him be able to scale into the fight.
Yep. Makes sense.
Something like this is often like how you would position him, right? Leona's your main tank. You'll give her main tank positioning. The thing about Leona is that again, you want her casting as soon as possible, so mana items become good. We also talked about how shielding items are necessarily good on her, right? Because she's a vanguard. So stuff like Crown Guard and this is going to be really strong on her. Anything that gives her more effective HP, so that she can cast ASAP, and then like your enemy wastes damage. So oftentimes, what will happen is that if you can see, you actually also want to make sure that she's same side as enemy carry, right? Because what you want is that Leona ults, and then suppose they're playing like a Zaya themselves. Then what will happen is that Leona will ult and Zaya will ult and like completely waste her ult. It won't even kill
Right.
Leona
Right.
because she'll have so much durability, right? Same thing as like a misfortune or something. Like you really want her eating that first ult. So making sure that she's same side as enemy carry is really strong.
That makes sense.
Right? And misfortune, I mean, just corner her quite a day. Forget about it, right? Oftentimes you'll see your positioning like this, right? Especially if your misfortune is the one that has last whisper. This is really good because sometimes what happens if you corner Zeri and there's like, you've put a twisted fate here, Zeri will sometimes dash here or like kind of be stupid dash here. So you just like do this to guarantee that like her first dash is safe. I mean, and now we've covered Zeri positioning as well. Also, this like kind of makes sure that Zeri actually like always attacks her first target. She'll be dashing all the way till here, but she's like 5 range, I think. No, she's 4 range. But either way, her clones keep attacking this unit.
Yep. Yep.
So like even when like she's walking up, suppose like late game fight and like you just killed their like last tank who was standing over here, and then there's like a backline carry, right? You just killed the Shyvana. Even as Zari is walking up, all the clones that are left will like start aggroing the Twisted Fate already. So she's actually really good at like 1v1s towards the end of the fight.
Yeah.
Z positioning is just Z positioning, right? You try to aim for the corners. But I think people like kind of overrate how important it is to like get him onto the corner carry immediately. I think it's far more important to make sure that he's on the back line immediately, right?
Right.
And just making sure that he doesn't get stuck. Like because sometimes what happens is you'll try to snap the backline, but if they're smart and done like anti-Z positioning, he'll sometimes end up teleporting here, and then from there he'll teleport over here, and that's the thing that you really want to avoid. So if you're
Yeah.
seeing
Yeah.
them do anti-Z positioning, just like center him, and then that way at least you'll make sure that he's on the backline immediately because none of these hexes will be available to him,
Makes sense.
right? Um, Ziggs doesn't matter. Zeri we talked about. Aurora. Aurora I actually don't like cornering because she jumps to safety anyway, right? So I actually like centering her, especially in comps like Varus and like let's say you've got like Varus Vex, right? Over here I always just like center Aurora because she's gonna jump back and this way you can like keep your actual good carries in the corner anyway, right? Even if you're playing something like Dynamo Flex, you can. Where's your release? Like you'll be like this, and that's completely fine, right? Like your misfortune, both your Elise and your misfortune can be cornered safely, and your Aurora will be safe as well, right? Um, Garen, I just kind of put him in the center and forget about it, right? Again,
Sounds
same
good.
thing as like the T Hex. He like sweeps, right? And like he throws out a big thing, so you don't want his thing like hitting like 3 units because if it hits 2 or less, yeah, he
It's the
refunds mana.
refund. Yeah.
Yeah. Kobuko, just put him in the center and forget about it,
Yep.
right? Not too much to talk about. Renekton is always almost always going to be over here eating the Senna, right? Just make sure that you leave like a position open for him in the front line. Otherwise, what happens is that like you'll have him walk like here, 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 and he just waste a lot of time. Just leaving a gap in your front line when you have Renekton backline is quite important, right? Samira actually wants to be in the center because sometimes what happens is that like she'll out here, but your enemy will be clumped over here, and she'll just like spin around over here and waste so much of the damage. That putting her in the center is much better. But I wouldn't prioritize that over a street demon hex. I think putting her street like I used to think that like in the start of the set, but then I watched a couple of fights, like actually studied it, and I'm pretty sure that if it means sacking a street demon hex, it's not worth it. Like
Gotcha.
an enhanced street demon hex, I mean. Urgot, just corner him, forget about it.
Yep.
Traditional carry positioning. Viego. I mean, Viego's a interesting one, right? Because it's also going to depend on like, I mean, mostly you just try to aim for the enemy backline and clump, right? but it also does depend based on what items you have on him. Like
Right.
for example, if you don't have Edge of Night, you kind of want to do it like this, or like if you know that enemy is top right, you're kind of going like the cubby over here, just to make sure he's not completely aggroed immediately. If he has Edge of Night, you can get a little bit more
Do you ever
aggressive, I
grade
guess, with it.
strategist value on this guy? Like, do you try to get him to have amp instead of the durability?
No, I would just prefer the durability anyway, I think.
Sounds good.
Like
Fair enough.
with
Yeah.
like if you can get him to cost even once more because he was a little bit more tanky, I think that's worth it, right?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Zach, again, with Zach, the thing is once he has enough blobs, you can actually start to like take a little bit of your front line back so that Zach dies a little bit earlier in the fight. And I think that's not even that bad.
Yeah.
Um, but like if you have that many blobs, then you've kind of won the game already, right?
True. True.
And I think that's it, right? That's kind of it.
Yeah.
Do you have any questions?
No, I don't think so. Sounds good.
All right. Was that helpful?
Yeah, for sure.
Do you think you
100%.
got like what you wanted? Did you learn anything new?
A few things. Yeah. Yeah. Like this, for some reason, I just completely blanked on Senna. Morgana was really helpful. So, for sure.
All right. Sweet. Sweet, sweet, sweet. Um, cool. In which case, why don't you queue up?
Sounds good.
Wigwag. Wigwag. Right. I'm gonna get some water while you're in queue.
Yeah, that sounds
Just give
good.
me a sec.
Yep.
Oh shit! Perfect timing. Let's fucking go. Sweet. Do you have any other questions? Otherwise, I will mute myself and start taking notes.
Yeah. No, I think I'm good. Sounds good.
All right. Best of luck.
Thank you.
Here I come to save the day. Or wreck it.
I didn't catch the exit tag. Could you just show me once?
Yeah,
Click
of
on the
course.
jacks.
Yep. Oh, sure.
Cyber Call Flux. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Perfect. Thank you.
No worries.
Oh yeah. Don't ever fall for the 7XO bait. I don't know. Honestly. Oh, golden room. Okay, interesting. Best of luck. Holy fuck! Oh my fucking god! You need QSS and you need Edge at Night.
Edge at Night,
Both of those
yeah.
are mandatory.
Yeah.
Yes, but just craft shit for sure. I would just slam Titans as well, probably.
Yeah, that's a good call. That's a good call. Yeah, that's a good. I haven't had this one yet. I actually haven't taken
All
Bubble Butt
right.
at all this set. But I've actually been playing a
Okay.
lot of
Okay.
Shaco.
Get Mundo in for sure. But
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
Yep.
All right. All right. I'll shut up. I'll shut up. Best of
You're
luck.
good. Sounds good.
Just frontline the Shaco. Nothing's like killing him, one-shotting him. So like,
Yeah,
just
that
let
makes
him
sense.
stack Titans faster.
That
Just
makes
let him
sense.
like stack. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Makes sense.
Since you don't have like things to like think about when it comes to like what your direction is and stuff, do you want me to like kind of talk to you about like
Yeah, yeah,
what
yeah. I
you
think that's a
should be
good
looking
call.
out for?
Yeah.
Okay, I mean, first of all, fuck this Kog'Maw and get Bruiser in. We don't need this Kog'Maw.
Oh, I see. Okay.
Just make 20 instead,
Yeah.
right? And okay, so what I would be looking at now is that this Titans is eventually going on the Z, right?
Right.
Shaco is ending up with like QSS, IE, and
Edge of
I
Night.
mean, in some world, right? Titans
Yeah,
is like
yeah.
okay on him, but eventually I am thinking that I want to get the Titans onto the Z. That's
Yeah.
thing number one. I'm also just playing tempo. I'm not re-rolling for shit, right? We're just
Yeah.
pushing to level 9 immediately.
Yep.
You are playing the Syndicate version for sure,
Yep.
but also the thing that like tips me off of the fact that you're just going level 9 is because you also have this golden
The
dupe, right?
dupe,
If you had
yeah.
like mini dupes, I could consider maybe re-rolling on like level 7, but with this, just like fuck it, dude. You have a Shaco 3, like,
Yep.
right? And yeah, just play the 6 cipher version. Try to get in. You try to get your Renekton and your fucking Garen in ASAP, right? Oh my fucking god.
Yeah.
Okay, crazy.
It isn't wild.
I mean, this is fine too.
I mean, Darius 2 is
Anything
quite good.
slammable is probably best. Darius 2 is really good as well. It's on a sword. I
Yep.
need like if you could slam like if you had to take a slammable item, then Hodge is also like completely acceptable
Yeah,
here.
yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think you just take Hodge now then.
Yep. Oh, no.
Belt is good. Belt is belt.
Yeah.
Belt. Belt.
Oh,
Belt. Belt. Belt.
yep.
Belt. Belt can become Sterax, which is the best AD item, right? It can
That's
also
true,
become even
yeah.
shot.
Yep.
But you're fine. You're still fine.
Do you ever greed not leveling here? Like, my instincts is just like, oh, okay, I just level and, put this idiot in.
You can just level and make econ anyway, is the thing. Like,
I guess that's true. I was. Oh,
oh, I wouldn't have done that. But it's okay. I would have just leveled and thrown a Morgana in
I see, I see.
and like kept the Zac. The Jack, sorry. But this is just fine. Like, you're fine, you're fine. Again, your spot is so broken that it doesn't even
But
fucking
yeah,
matter.
that's true. That's true.
But yeah, you can just, like you said, the greeting is right to make 30 because, like,
Okay,
but you can
makes
make
sense.
30
Makes
and
sense.
win and like level also because there is a consideration towards getting better shop odds so you can get Force Slayer slash Darius slash Syndicate and ASAP, right?
Yeah, definitely. Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah, over here also, actually, now that I think about it, buy the Morgana. Um, because, I mean, you can just sell the Kog'Maw if you need to make Econ. Like this turn,
I
we
see,
could have
I
just sold
see.
the Kog'Maw anyway and made Econ, right? I mean, now you can just put
Now
that in
it's
for
just
it.
whatever. Yeah.
All right, excellent. Cool. I'll quiet myself again and let you focus up. I just
Sounds
thought
good.
that since you have like so much time, might as well like give you direction as opposed to
Yeah.
like watching you make mistakes and like because otherwise you can get overwhelmed. But right now you really don't have
Now
much to
it's
do,
so
right?
easy. Yeah, no, I think it's a good call.
All right, sweet. You want Jax and Mod.
Nice.
Yeah, so okay, just like you could have sold the Alistar basically and played like Mod over it, and that way you can make 40 while keeping Jax and Sejuani also on your bench, so you can play like Exotech and Bastion.
Gotcha. I see. I see. Yes.
No, no, Mundo's still better. Mundo's still better. Just play like double Braum. It's fine. Like that was when you didn't have like
Yeah. Yeah.
the Darius. Yeah.
One Z, one Z. Please, please. Okay.
Time to start some trouble.
Just tell Zach you're gonna be playing Garen anyway.
Oh,
No better time to die.
You have Edge of Night, so you can actually frontline the Shaco. It's fine.
gotcha. Yeah, makes sense. It's instinct.
Also, this is a new Gwinsu, so you can actually slam it on Zed. It's fine.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's a good call.
No shadow without light. That looks like it hurt. Oh, light.
Okay, now you don't for
No,
sure.
I don't. Yeah. Oh, oh, nice. No.
No shadow without light.
challenge.
Vanguard Chico, Vanguard Chico. You have Epitaph plus you have Sterak's, right? So Vanguard's Chico.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Roll to 0. There you go.
It's about to get messy. My world burns.
Another mass extinction. So soon.
GG's.
Yeah,
Oh,
I'll take it.
we take those.
Yeah.
Honestly, I think you could not have placed higher than fourth that game anyway. So we
Maybe,
take those.
maybe. I think losing the streak. Like, if I had been scouting, I could have positioned for the Annie and not lost streak, and I would have 10 streaked for
Yeah,
sure. I think that's like
I
that's
think
the
so.
game right there. But items are tough. I think I did a decent job, hopefully, with them, but maybe I made
I
some
think you did
mistakes.
a much better job than before. I think you had one mistake in item slams,
Sounds good.
but we'll talk about that.
Sounds good.
Generally, I mean, honestly, that was a pretty straightforward game. So generally, there wasn't
Yeah.
that much that could go wrong. There are a few things, and we can talk about them. Um, what I'm very open to doing also is that we can go over this quickly because we're still only just 1 hour into our session, right?
Yeah.
So if you have any WODs, then we can look at those afterwards as well.
Sounds
Thoughts?
good. Yeah, I'm down. So I don't have any 14.5 VODs because Outplayed's been broken for most of the patch for the last few days.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. It is finally back up though. But I have,
All right. Okay.
unless you want to watch a
In
Mister
which
100,
case,
it's the only move on I
no,
have.
alternatively, what we can do is because today I have two sessions, what we could alternatively do is that like call a shorter session today, and tomorrow we can do two games instead of one. How about that?
Yeah, that works. That works. And if I get any games, I'll record them now that it's back up.
Yeah, yeah, perfect, perfect. So we'll just do that then. I think that makes a lot more sense.
Sounds good.
Uh, what the fuck is going on? Did it not record my game? Hello? No way. Okay, okay, okay. It did. Thank fuck. All right, all right, all right. Oh, okay, thank fuck. Okay, but your outplay is working now anyway, right?
Yeah,
So
yeah,
that
yeah.
was
So it
recorded
is.
by
I do
you.
have it in my outlook.
Okay,
Yep,
okay,
yep.
okay, okay. All right, all right, all right. Thank fuck. Okay, no, no, it recorded. That's good, that's good. All right, so let me know if you can see that.
Yep.
Perfect. Okay, so 1-2. Again, Zeri is playable with our items, and we have a golden dupe. I'm already thinking I want to play Reflex again.
Gotcha.
Right?
I see. Okay. And
You
when
have a
you have
Cogmob.
golden dupe, you're just thinking like you're thinking some comp that will cap around a 5 cost.
I'm mostly thinking that I will not like even if I'm slightly contested on my forecast, I will not give a fuck because I can hit my turn.
Ah, I
That's
see.
more what
I
I'm
see.
thinking. I don't care
Gotcha.
about the 5 cost. Like golden dupes are much better used IMO to just like stabilize as fast as you can on stage 4 and then push for level 9. Right? I
Makes
think when you
sense.
start
That makes
greeting them,
sense.
it's a lot worse, right? Like I would just use it if I let's say I have two Aphelios, right? Uh, and I have let's say I have two Aphelios, two Leona, one Zaya, right? I would just roll to fight either one of the Aphelios or Leona, and the second I hit one of those, I would use it on the other, not even give a fuck about the Zaya, right?
Gotcha. Gotcha.
Like I would just use them instantly to stabilize.
Makes sense.
But I'm a big tempo believer anyway, right?
Yeah,
And
yeah.
I mean, you know that.
No, but it makes
Yeah.
sense. I
Anyway, so
usually
I'm
see
just
these
like,
as a low. I usually see these as a low roll, so it makes sense that I just need to be using them more aggressively.
I mean, sometimes if you got like fiddle pair dropped over here, I would just insta slam it on
Yeah,
fiddlesticks.
that's
I'm
what I
not
was
even
gonna
joking.
ask. Yeah, yeah. Sounds good. Makes sense.
Okay, over here, why did you not buy anything?
Yeah, I'm thinking about what to buy, and I like stun locked.
Just froze up?
Yeah, yeah,
You need to think further. Like, you should do
yeah,
this at the start of your turn then. Or, like, make it a habit to, like, I mean, this scouting is unnecessary right now. Like,
yeah,
it's good,
yeah.
it's a good habit, but, like, did you actually accomplish anything by scouting
No,
here?
yeah, yeah, for sure.
No, right? Like, you don't give a fuck. Like, it's worth scouting once you know what your line is, but, like, right now, you don't give a fuck. So, like, just focus on your turns because, like, clearly there's some deprioritize. Like, okay, one thing I will say is that like you're trying to do a lot in your turns, and sometimes it ends up to the point that the important things like
Don't
get left to
happen.
the last
Yeah,
few seconds,
yeah.
and then you have to postpone it to the next turn, right? Like over here, I think like okay, you wanted to buy Graves, Alistar, and Poppy all three, right? I think not buying Poppy is criminal here, like criminal. You need to be buying Bastion pair with like with your when you have Jack's pair, you need the Bastions, right?
Gotcha.
Because, and
Yeah,
if you'd bought all this, like just imagine a world where you sell your Vi, you sell your Shaco, you buy your Poppy, and let's say you just buy the Alistar. Buying the Poppy is like undebatable, keeping Kindred also undebatable, right? So you buy Poppy, and let's say you just buy the Alistar, or maybe you don't buy the Alistar, you buy the Graves, right? Let's say you bought Graves and Poppy over here, right? Um, then your choices, I mean, I think Bruiser Crown and Prismatic are untakeable from this spot, right? I don't think you can really go for them. I would not click. I so far I'm also thinking build a butt. I do agree with you because build a butt essentially what it does is like lets you get to level 8, level 9, and then that's when our golden dupe comes. So again, there's like a
makes
logical
sense. That
reasoning
makes
here,
sense.
right?
Yeah. So I was
But
thinking
going
that
long also does that.
Build a Bud's good with component anvils because I can just make items for my 3-star.
Absolutely. Perfect reasoning. That even better, right? And I love going long for the exact same reasoning. I hate birthday present for the reasoning that golden dupe is good when you're playing for a specific
Yeah,
board and you can guarantee hitting it. Playing from a flex tempo position, golden dupe is just not as good because you don't want to be rolling in the first place. So how are you gonna get pairs, right?
yeah.
Um, going long. Imagine a world where we had Bastion and then we have like we have our Jack's pair, we have our Kog'Maw pair, we have Poppy, we also have a Graves, and we have a Kindred. We can just click going long and also have a great game, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Like we can just tempo bully the lobby. Of course, after scouting, right? Like picking going long would require a lot of scouting. And if you see that nobody else has taken some early like broken bullshit like quality of over quantity, you can just take going long and call it a day.
Yeah.
Right. But now that we don't have like Poppy and all that shit, our early game is actually not sorted because very easily you can have a shop over here where you don't get any like good front line, and then we're just fucked. Right. But like, okay, bit of hindsight, but like genuinely, this is not really hindsight because you do have Jack's pair and Kog'Maw pair, which is why I did want to click Build a Bud, which is why I
Yeah.
did want to click going long, right? And you ended up hitting it. Now you would have had Jack's 2, Kog'Maw 2, Poppy, Kindred, and like a Graves. You are chilling, right?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
instantly slam your AD flex items. You would probably have like a Sunfire, let's say an IE plus Gwynsu's. Are you not just having the most comfortable game of your life,
Yeah, for sure. For sure.
right? So again, that just goes back to this small mistake, which seems like very small in the moment, but generally it closes off such a premium line for
Yeah.
us, right?
Yeah.
Anyway, I think Build a Bud is not even bad. And like clearly you got the literal best version, like outcome. So
Yeah.
if you could guarantee that Build a Bud is such a
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
say Shaco on it, it's in the threes, right? Like it's literally so fucking broken. So I mean, you got it. Okay, let's talk item slams here. This, yeah, okay, you should get the Mundo in over here for sure, right? We both agree on this.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Okay, over here, I would have just taken Hodge immediately, most likely.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
I'm just trying to slam items down, right? And like tier worst case, I get like a cloak next turn, and I can just like with the next anvil, and I can slam QSS to have an open tier anyway. It's not great, but it's like okay, it's acceptable, right?
Yep.
You ended up taking Giant's Belt here, I think, which is also completely fine. I think that's like the two acceptable ones.
Yeah. Tier's better though.
Well, you did take tier. Oh, perfect then. Then perfect. Yeah, you
Good. I'm glad I took
okay,
tier.
amazing. And then you took the cloak. Exactly what happened. Perfect. But then you need to be open to slamming Titans here immediately.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right? Like we're streaking, we need to have items, we need to make sure the Shaco like gets as many stacks.
Yeah.
Okay. Uh cool. So far so good, making sense?
Yep.
All right. Now I like started yapping in your ear talking about like what our game plan is going to be this turn, this game, right? You hit Mundo 2. This is all completely fine. No problems here. Over here, yeah, again, makes sense, right? We get this in because it gives our Shaco a little bit more HP, and that's going to be any day better than our Kog'Maw. If anything, Kog'Maw is just like kill stealing from Shaco anyway.
Yeah. Yeah. That makes
And we
sense.
just want Shaco to get all the last hits.
Yep.
So, yeah, we just get the Bruiser in. This also lets us make 20. We're winning. This made sense, right?
Yep.
That ideally we would have wanted a sword here, especially since it's on a Darius. That's literally the dream outcome. But in the event that we
Love
don't, we would have
great.
wanted something slammable,
Yeah.
right?
How
now
many
since we couldn't get
options
anything-
would you slam here? Like what are the range of acceptable slams? Like are you
Hodge and blue buff. That's it.
Hodge and blue buff? Yeah. Sounds good. Makes
Yeah.
sense.
Again, just items I'd be okay taking off Shaco and putting on to Zed later.
Yeah, right. Right.
Yeah, because you need to be like duo carrying Zed in this comp, right?
Right,
And that's kind
right.
of the issue that I had with one of our slams later on. I'll talk about that. What do you think of taking Rod here? Be honest.
No, I don't think so. I don't know. I think I was just sad. I think I was always taking the Twisted Fate.
Okay,
If
okay, okay,
anything.
cool. Yeah, that's completely fine. I mean, it's even shot, it's Sunfire, it's Starax.
Yeah. Yeah.
We have no problems with this. Hey, okay, over here, makes sense. We just want the Morgana in, right? I don't give a fuck about this Kog'Maw. I don't give a fuck about Rapid Fire. I just want to get like Divinicorp gives me like I mean, sorry, Morgana gives me Divinicorp, and that's completely fine with me.
Yeah,
right?
that makes sense. I didn't see this at all. That makes sense. Just to make 30. Yeah.
Just to make 30, and then again, it's buffing our Shaco by a little bit. And right now, our entire board is just one unit, right?
Yeah.
This Kog'Maw is like literally just kill stealing, and like it might be stronger. But the thing is, I don't really give a fuck about playing a little bit stronger board right now because it's not like our board gets weaker to the point that we're losing to literally anybody in the lobby,
Yeah.
right?
And,
We're
and these
winning
and
anyway.
these kills matter for sure. Yeah. I
Yeah,
definitely am not
exactly,
thinking about
exactly.
these kills. Yeah.
Okay, you got this. This kind of solves your game. You also ended up holding on to the Sejuani. This is great. No problems here. All right, so I want to play Mordekaiser over this Alistar over here and then pick up the Jax, right? Because in the event that you don't hit another Slayer, what ends up happening is our next board is just going to be a Bastion with Exotech, right? And when I say next, it actually is your level 7 board, right? but it's still fine, right? Like
Gotcha.
you
Yeah,
do
yeah.
account for these things because sometimes you don't like hit these things,
For
so
sure, for
you
sure.
should, right?
Yeah, I just didn't.
Cool.
Did not see this, but this makes sense.
I mean, I'm just seeing Sejuani, I'm seeing Jackson. I'm like, that's the
You want to
easiest
keep
pairing of
it
all time, right?
100%. Yeah, yeah.
Okay, I agree with you. These items are fucking dog shit, right? I didn't want to slam anything over here either. Um, Here's what I hate. This is your habit. We talked about it last time also. Why do you slam individual components on your units?
So
Like, why? Why?
yeah,
Why is this chain
yeah,
going on this Jarvan, man? Like,
yeah,
there's just no need.
yeah,
You are never losing this fight.
yeah,
And like this
yeah,
punishes you
yeah.
literally next turn, by the way. Like literally next turn. Because like, okay, over here, first of all, we'll get to that. But it does, I do agree that like first, okay, we'll take it one at a time. 3-1. Um, I agree that this kind of sucks, right? And it's okay to look at the fight and then decide, and you decide not to slam. Completely agree with that. 3-2. Let's go one by one. Augment chances. I really like find the center here, and I'm curious why you don't.
Oh, okay. Yes, I mean it's really. So I know it's good on these melee carries. I guess I just felt it Grief's Shaco positioning too much to put him in the middle. But
It grieves it a little bit, but Shaco isn't as bad because he teleports to the back
yeah, he'll
regardless,
get
right?
there. Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
It's
Not
not
taking
like one of those
combat
units that
here
can
is
get
pretty bad.
perma stuck.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, and the other thing is exactly, I really want to take combat here because I want to keep streaking. This is the point that we're going to be strongest in the game. And also, our build is already a drain tanky build, right? Like we have
yeah.
Titan
This felt.
slammed,
Yeah,
and like
yeah,
there can very easily be the items that we have also. We don't have a single sword, so very likely is the case that like often enough we'll end up with a Starax over here, or like let's say a Hodge, or maybe even another Titans, right? In which case the max health damage amp, it's not even bad. You know, like we can very much actually play for a drain tank Shaco.
yeah. That makes a
Um,
lot of sense.
yeah, I think Fire Sale is second best here. I think that's okay, but in a world where you're full streaking and you have a golden dupe, do we really need that much more econ, especially for a board that kind of hits its cap at level 8 anyway?
Yeah,
Like level 9 is nice, you get a Garen, but like the Garen just got a Vanguard on your Shaco. It's not that much higher, right? In which case, like we're capping out on 8, so I definitely want to pick combat here.
yeah, yeah. That makes
Even
sense.
Big Friend, I think, is like not even that bad.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I should have definitely just taken combat here.
You might have Big Friend value here already, right? From the Mundo?
You, so I actually checked it, and I don't think I have it on anyone except for Shaco. So I was like, ugh,
Oh, really? Okay.
I thought so. I thought,
If that's the case, I think you just take find your center here. I'm pretty sure because like worst case, you can just put your Z in there later
yeah,
on
because I'm like,
anyway, and
check
it's not
out
even
here.
that
I am.
bad.
I'm checking. Maybe I didn't check Mundo though. That's dumb. Yeah. What do you
Because
think
Mundo
about
gets
Eye for
extra
an
HP
Eye?
and you have Bruiser.
Like just as far
I
as
don't like Eye for
combat.
an Eye that much.
Yeah, sounds.
No, I want immediate. Like Eye for an Eye is like sacking and trying to go for max cap, right?
Yeah, yeah, for
But
sure.
we can't go for max cap because we're playing for a third. Like that's the comp we're playing. We're playing for a third.
Yeah, yeah,
So I want to play. I want to just play max tempo. That's kind of it. Fire Sale is also playing for like a first, and we can't play for a first.
yeah, yeah.
You just need to play for tempo. And
Agreed.
like, if honestly, if you're taking like that there, don't you win this fight?
Yeah.
Or if you hadn't slammed like this Sunfire on your Jarvan and instead the Sunfire was on your
Yeah,
Shaco,
yeah, yeah. Yep, yep, yep.
that's my main issue with this chain on Jarvan because I
Yeah,
do agree with the Sunfire slam. You kind of have to suck it up and just slam it right now, right? I think that's fine.
but yeah,
But there's
slamming it
also a world
on
where you can
anyone.
just slam double Titans,
Hmm.
right? Like double Titans wins this fight, right? Like in a
Oh, I
world where
see.
you take double Titans and it's find your center, and then you
Yeah,
have
for sure,
open belt and
for
open
sure,
tier,
for
and
sure.
you can play for like Starax Blue Buff on your Z, and that's okay. That's not so bad.
Yeah, yeah,
And
yeah,
I do think
definitely.
Sunfire is a completely fine slam as well. I think both are fine. But I just think that if you had Find Your Center and like Sunfire Shaco, you'd still win this fight, honestly.
100%. Yeah, yeah,
Right?
yeah,
Maybe even
definitely.
just with Sunfire Shaco, I'm not even joking.
Yeah. No, I know.
Like
I
it's
think
so
Sunfire.
possible.
No, Sunfire Shaco wins this. I'm confident.
Right? Like just a
Yeah,
little bit more tankiness on the Shaco,
yeah,
you
yeah.
could like,
And
yeah, oh,
I
you could
was tunneled
definitely.
on the fact that I mispositioned. I'm like, oh, because like if I had thought about it, I would have put Shaco on the Annie's side. But like, it wouldn't have
Yeah.
even mattered. Like, you're 100% right. The item slams are the biggest thing here.
Yeah, so stop. Just stop. Genuinely, just stop slamming individual components. Like it
Yeah,
will
yeah,
always cause you more grief than it is worth.
yeah.
I promise you, it is.
I thought this is
There's
what you
like
meant by that.
such few stops that
I
like.
when
Yeah,
so I
go
was
on.
slamming this Sunfire and then hitting the Braum too, and I felt like an idiot for having the Sunfire stuck on Jarvan for this entire
Yeah, but
stage.
like you don't
I
even
didn't
want
even
it
think
on
about
Brom.
it.
You still want it on Shaco. Is the
Yeah,
thing,
yeah, no, it's true. It's true.
right?
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
ugh,
yeah. Again, just don't do it. I promise you. Even
yeah,
I am not good enough to tell you the spots where it's good to slap like a single component. Like maybe like the perfect TFT AI is. I don't even know if dish soap is, man. Like it's so hard. Like
yeah,
it
yeah.
will cause like the only one where I think it's like acceptable is like tier because you can actually see if like got an extra cast and you can slam it last second so they can get their last cast off. I think that's the only one.
Makes sense. Makes sense.
Right? Or like maybe like a belt to give like that extra bit of HP
To
last
win a
second if you're
fight,
seeing that
yeah,
you might win the fight by one auto.
yeah.
But otherwise, it's like, yeah, don't just slam it on bounce. Just
Yep,
make it a habit.
yep.
Okay. You end up taking sword here. I agree. Sword is the best one. It's not even close. If not, then if you couldn't get sword, then again is the kind of the same things, right? Which is the glove or the tier for blue buff or for Hodge. I really want to find a way to kill this tier, right? Okay. Unfortunate though that we still don't get a slammable item. You level for fourth layer. I think this is all completely fine. Okay. I ended up winning this fight. 3-7. Okay. 3-6, nothing happened. You just won the fight. Cool. 3-7. You're very rich, and I agree that rolling on 8 is actually pretty good in this game. Again, because you're playing for you're playing for a third, right? So maximizing tempo and trying to get 6 layer in ASAP is really good, right? You also end up with Jarvan pair and Vayne pair. So I'm like completely like, cool. I'm down to fucking send, right? Um, Here's where we have some issues though. You roll a little bit. I actually like how much you rolled on this turn and then you like saved it for later. I think that's completely fine. I think you could have rolled a little bit more, but this is fine. Better to be a little bit more precautious than like overroll. So I'm fine with all this. This is okay with me. Make 40. I would have rolled to like 30, but 40 is fine. Again, I prefer that you do this than overroll. You reforce this. Okay. I think that you absolutely need to slam Gunblade plus Titans here.
Okay, Blue Titans. Yeah,
Right? And you
makes
ended up slamming a
sense.
Rage Blade. And what that caused was for our Zed to not have 3 items till 4-7, right?
Yeah, yeah,
And I really want 3 items on our Zed ASAP.
yeah,
Like
yeah. That makes sense.
I just need them, right? And this way you could have had at least 2 items on your Z this entire time. Right now you have like one. You could have had three, because what you would have done is you would have transferred the Sunfire over to the Z, and your Z would have had blue buff, let's say Titans plus the Sunfire, and that's fine. And your Shake would have had a Gunblade instead, and yes, that's a little bit weaker, but overall your board ends up being a little bit
I see.
stronger,
I see.
right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I gotcha.
Again, because when it comes to this board specifically, the 6 layer board with Shaco, um, Senna and Vayne are kind of fucking useless
Right,
because
right.
the whole game plan is to snipe the backline. And playing front to back, you've already lost because you will not out DPS late game boards like Aphelios or shit, right? So your only hope is like backline sniping them, and which is why you need 3 items on your set, right?
Yep, yep.
Yeah, and you ended up winning these fights, so it was fine. Okay, this fight you lost. I wonder if this was actually an item diff. I would not be surprised if it was. Anyway, so wait, talking a little bit more about this. You ended up rolling on for 3, and you rolled pretty deep, right? And I think this might also be an issue because here's what happens, right? You don't hit Z, you don't hit Z. I mean, 4-3, you're kind of a minute. Okay, wait. Going back to 4-2. Let's talk about 4-2 first. Okay, so your options. Bronze for Life, Tomb Raider, Little Buddies. Can't take Tomb Raider, it's dog shit. Plus, we're not playing a win out board. Little Buddies not clickable. Epitaph, amazing. Tomb Raider, you ended up rolling next, I believe.
I wanted to take Tomb
Again,
Raider so bad,
no,
but
no, 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 no.
I've
I
rigged a few
understand,
games doing
but you're
this.
not playing win out.
Yeah,
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 yeah, yeah.
yeah,
You're not playing win out. Like, if you're playing even Seraphine or some bullshit or like Morgana and you're like at 94 HP, I can still see it. But over here, fuck no.
yeah, yeah.
You're playing Shaco, right? He falls off. Like, okay, I think the only two clickable one are rerouting and inspiring Epitaph. I do think Epitaph is better, so I think I'm fine with this. This is completely okay with me.
Do you ever roll the Epitaph here because you have rerouting? That's kind of what I was deciding between. Because I think Epitaph's a good amount better, but is it worth just seeing what else is there?
No, I think Epitaph might be like the one of the best ones you
One of
can
the
get.
best
So
ones
I
anyway.
would just click Epitaph.
Yeah, sounds good.
Yeah. Plus, it gives you 5 gold, right? Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
definitely worth.
yeah. That's good.
I would just click it.
That's good.
Don't think too hard about it. I mean, I think you picked the correct one. This is fine. Okay, two options here. Either A, we just like level, like we don't roll a single time, or we
Right,
roll
right.
till Z2. These are our only two options.
I see.
We
I see.
cannot do a middle ground. All right,
I see.
unless you like roll and like you can hit it like immediately. Okay, over here you hit Jarvan 2 out of stop rolling. Just Jarvan 2 as stop rolling
Gotcha. I
immediately,
see. I see.
and then just like push for level 9. But okay, if you're deciding on rolling, I think it's not that bad. I think it's okay to recognize that, like, hey, I'm 94 HP, but I need to win every single fight. Um, Again, that kind of decision, you require a little bit more scouting, and you haven't scouted this turn.
Yeah, yeah.
That's my main issue, right? That you haven't scouted yet, and you're making this decision. Okay, you did scout. Oh, I don't know.
Only a
Did you
little
have
bit.
this in mind? I mean, just tell me honestly then.
No, I'm.
Were you keeping lobby tempo in mind while deciding whether or not to roll deep for
No, I
Zed, is
don't.
what I'm asking.
No, I don't think so. It wasn't. It
Okay,
wasn't in my
in which
mind that
case,
even had like potentially go 9. So I was just committed to rolling Zed here.
okay, but you see how that like is one of the major considerations, right?
100%. 100%.
Like that would decide. Okay, after the Vayne 2, I think it's completely illegal to keep rolling. Like absolutely. Like we're going way too deep at this point. And this is kind of like what happened that okay, we'll win these fights anyway. Even like till here, you won without hitting a single Z still, right? Now you hit. I mean, no wait, did you hit it on 4? Okay, you hit it on 4-3. Never mind, never mind, never mind. But you won all these fights. Okay, and here's the issue, right? Now we fall off so hard on stage 5 because it takes us fucking forever. And like we can't roll on 9, we can't hit our Z2, etc.
Yeah, yeah.
And this is my biggest problem that like it's 5-2 and I still don't have Z2, right? And the only thing that I added was hitting Garen. So if we'd saved more gold, then we would have been able to go to level 9 and roll on better odds and hit Z2.
Yeah,
If
yeah.
we rolled deeper, we could have just hit Z2 better, like or earlier, right? But I don't like this middle ground of rolling kinda deep, but not really, but like hitting Z1 and then being okay with it. Because again, our win condition at this, or like not win condition, but rather fight win condition is having Z2, right? At this point, Shaco has fallen off to the point that he can't solo carry anymore. Fair enough?
Yeah, fuck.
All I'm saying is you need to
So
commit to one or the other.
100%. So we're at let's say so we get to 20. I think it's on 4-3. We get to 20. We hit the Z. Uh, are you fine rolling it? Like once you've gone this direction, are you committed to just rolling to 0 to
Yes,
hit
yes.
the second Z and then you just
Yeah,
dupe
because
it to 1?
you have a dupe, right? So it's
Yeah,
actually
yeah,
okay.
yeah.
You just need to hit one.
I'm
Like,
I'm
just
greeting the
imagine,
dupe
would
in
you
my
roll
head.
more with Z pair,
Yeah, 100%. In my mind, I'm like, okay, I'm
right?
not finding. I've like committed this dupe to Garen 2 in my head, which is really stupid. Yeah,
Which is the exact opposite of what we talked about,
yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah,
right?
yeah,
Like, just imagine, would you roll with Z pair here?
yeah, yeah.
100%, right?
100% I would.
So you must roll then.
Yeah, yep,
And this is better than Z pair because you aren't taking extra one out of the pool. So it's
right,
even
right.
likelier to hit.
Yeah, and
Yeah, I
you
think you
could
absolutely
spike
need to
something
hit.
random, right? Like you could just hit 2/5 costs. Like you could hit, you know, Garen.
I mean, even if you hit that like that shit, you're not playing them, right? Like you're still going to be playing your 6 layers. Like
Like,
again,
yeah, I guess
Shaco is still like a solid
that's true.
60% of your board.
That's true. That's true.
But again, so my problems here are just the fact that I think there are miscellaneous fights on stage 5, and like especially this fight on 4-6. I mean, 4-6, it was the Cypher Cash Out player, right? No, it was the Golden Ox player. Yeah, we
Yeah.
definitely could have won this fight on 4-6 if, let's say, we had Z2 and 3 items on Z. So over here, if we had Gunblade plus
Yeah.
Blue Buff plus Sunfire and a Z2, we win this fight 100%, right?
Yeah.
And like it's just these miscellaneous fights because again, it's a recognizing of okay, I'm 85 HP, but I'm still probably just playing for a third at best, right? Like
Yeah.
2 people will outcap you this lobby for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
And yeah, I just think that we could have maybe like gotten one better placement. I think that's kind of it. I don't think you could have gone second, but definitely losing every single fight here and the fact that like we hit Z2 all the way on 5-5, right?
Yeah.
Is the issue.
Yeah.
Again, one thing I do want to point out is the thing that we talked about where we're doing things in the wrong order, right? So over here, for example, 5-2, you start rolling, but I just need you to be a little bit more like, I don't know, on this shit about it, like a lot more snappier, right? Because what ends up happening in this roll down is you stop rolling with literally like 18 gold left on bench,
Yeah. Yeah.
right? That
Yeah,
you could have
yeah.
so easily hit Z to this turn if you just like actually like you need to like prepare yourself mentally before these turns and like realize that these turns like matter a lot. right?
Yeah, for sure.
If you can have like Z2 this turn, and also by the way, you should have transferred Sunfire Ages over, like or like even like Guinsoo's or Sunfire, one of the
Yeah,
two.
something. Yeah,
Like you need to have 3 items on Z, right?
yeah,
But yeah, like these fights, like this fight also, like you could have definitely won with Z2, right?
yeah. I think so.
Like it's hard to say, but like there's definitely a chance.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. I
This
mean,
fight, it's a little
we end up
harder for
getting
sure.
the fourth by 1 HP. Even just killing a few units matters. Like even if we're gonna lose
Yeah,
all these fights, like killing 2 units in all these fights matters.
yeah, exactly. That's right. Yeah, does this Vanguard make sense to you?
Yeah, it does. I was
I think it's the
definitely
best one.
sold. Yep.
Right. Also, just in general, Vanguard is going to provide more defensive stats than Bruiser. Like 2 Vanguard over 2 Bruiser, anytime you're like modding someone, every single time it's going to be better.
I was actually thinking Syndicate on Zed, but it's probably not good. Like the
No,
Vanguard.
just get a little bit more defensive stats on your like you,
Yeah.
especially with the fact that you have Epitaph, it's like a
The
no-brainer.
Epitaph's there, yeah, 100%.
Okay, now one thing I want to talk about itemization.
Yep.
Okay, over here, I do not like this itemization that you do. Okay, first of all, from this moment on only, I am not a big fan of this itemization. You got Sterax, and you remember that is the most broken item, but okay, here's my issue with it. Sterax A has anti-synergy with your Edge of Night, right?
Yeah,
Because it doesn't give you attack speed. Like it stops you right before you get the attack speed. That's bad, especially with the fact that you're playing QSS. So you are trying to play a Shaco autos a lot kind of comp, right?
Yeah.
And Shaco does auto a lot, right? Like he actually does get a lot of autos off. Secondly, because he gets a lot more autos off, um, he's going to stack Titans a lot faster than Zed. And Zed constantly drops aggro. Shaco will only drop aggro once in the entire fight. Zed is dropping aggro like maybe 4 or 5 times.
I see.
So he's a dog shit stacker of Titans, right?
Right.
So I would just like to see this Tarax on the Zed and Titans on the Shaco,
Gotcha. Yeah, makes sense.
right? Over here, you ended up swapping items over even more. I think you need to just keep it a little bit more simple, right? Which is, okay, you swapped it at 6-1.
6-1, I think.
Yeah, you got a BT. I really liked your initial idea of just putting Starax on this Jarvan. But I think you like overcomplicated it. I would have just liked to see Starax, Jarvan, BT Shaco quite a day. And let the rest be. But so you end up going Titans on this, and again, I'm not as big a fan of that.
Gotcha.
I think Starax on like it does a lot more for Jarvan essentially than it does for Zed, right?
And then Titans on Shaco and
No, just
BT
BT
on Zed.
Shaco is fine. I'm fine with beat like your Shaco itemization is fine. I think over here now.
Okay.
What you can do is just like swap Titans and Starax over here.
Gotcha.
Because like again, Starax on a Vanguard unit is going to do a lot more. And he uses the tankiness like a lot more. Zed often enough what will happen is
yeah.
he'll proc Starax and that his
He'll
shield will
drop
just
his
like
aggro.
degrade.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So it won't even like
Yeah.
come of use.
Yeah, this makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Other than that, I think that's kind of it. Right?
Yeah, sounds good.
Again, I think you lost like maybe one place for this game, right?
Yeah.
At max. Like literally at most. Maybe honestly there is a world where you beat that Golden Ox guy and he like dies.
Yeah, well, I mean, especially because the fight on 4-6 we lost to him. So if we
How much
his
HP
health would
was
have been
he?
lower. I think he was at 16 when the game ended, or when we died. So he wouldn't have died here, but
That's-
like taking a life off of him.
No,
might
yeah.
have been a
If you had had
difference.
one more life and he'd had one less, then like
It
yeah,
could have
final
been a
fight
diff
if you like,
easily. Yeah.
it could have been a diff. Yeah, exactly.
And I mean, honestly, I think this could have been a second just from tempo. Like the 3-2 is like losing streak on 3-2 is pretty abysmal. Like it's like 10, 15 gold. And I think
That's true. Yeah, the
probably,
3-2 as well.
like considering
Yeah.
we don't hit Zed until 5-5, like I think we probably like low rolled the roll down a little bit on stage 4, but if we had 15 more gold,
Definitely.
like 15
Yeah.
more gold fixes it, right? And I think this is a second. Like we're just it
I
should
think
be a
so. Yeah,
second.
second or third. That's true. I forgot about the 3-2 as well. Yeah, losing streak there because also of our we took like an econ augment and then we didn't position correctly and we also didn't slam sunfire on Shaco, right? All three
Yeah.
of those things. The
Yeah.
3-2 was
Any of them would have
a bunch
won
of
the fight.
mistakes on one turn.
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Unfortunate. But I mean, honestly, still pretty fun game. I'll say that. I mean, of course, it's going to be fun when you hit fucking build about Shaco. Right?
Yeah. Not so bad.
Yeah, but honestly, surprisingly more to learn from this game than
It seemed
I
efforts,
would have
yeah.
thought.
Agreed. I
Right?
agree. I'm happy. Like this is the type of game I wouldn't have like looked back on. I just would have been like, whatever. The rule.
Yes.
Take my fourth at
Yeah.
Stuka.
Dude, literally, this is exactly like the perfect kind of game that gives me the. I mean, it gives me sound reason to do these kind of sessions as opposed to just word reviews because you would
Yeah.
never look at this. Like even myself, if I looked at your match history and I was like, you played Chaco, and you were like, I was builder, but I would have been like, okay, cool, 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 and then we would have like crossed it off. But like you said, two placements, right? It's placements like these that we lose that like kind
Yeah.
of cause our client to stagger a little bit.
Yep. Makes sense.
All right. I mean, again, yeah, we have like a solid half hour left. Next session, we'll just do two games, one after the other. Sound good? We'll
Sounds good.
probably do one game, take a break, and then do another.
Sounds good.
All
Do
right.
you have a
And that's
preference
going
on
to
time for
be
tomorrow?
tomorrow. Can I let you know soon enough? The thing is that I actually have a fever right now,
Oh, gotcha. No, no worries. Yeah, just let me know.
and so I'm like fine, but my sleep schedule, like I'm sleeping like 17 hours a day, so that's kind of the issue.
I
But
fully
you just
understand.
tell me what timings you're free in and like what works for you, and in any of the like I will let you know what in those timings works for me. Is that
Sounds good.
fine?
Yep. Sounds good, man. Feel better.
All
Thank you
right.
for the
See,
session.
perfect. See you.
Yep. Bye.